Et nous sommes en ligne à présent avec le rabbin Refael Kruskal, vice-président de la communauté juive d'Odessa, superviseur de l'organisation Tikva Odessa, un réseau d'écoles juives, d'orphelinats, de programmes de soins communautaires qui englobe quelques 1000 personnes. Bonjour, shalom. Hello, Mr. Kruskal.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you. And thank you for accepting to speak for Radio J. Merci beaucoup d'avoir accepté cette invitation. So I will speak French, then English, the same question for everyone's understanding. First in French, la première question que je veux vous poser, monsieur le rabbin, avant de parler de votre travail, c'est d'abord, comment ça va? Est-ce que vous êtes en sécurité? Où êtes-vous actuellement? Before talking about your work, we want to know, how are you? Where are you now? Are you safe?
So, first of all, thank you so much for asking about this. We are now safe. We just crossed over the border just yesterday to Romania from Ukraine with all the children of the orphanages we have in Odessa. Tikva is a community and an orphanage. We have children from babies right the way through until students. We're talking about 270 children in total who are in our care, our children, and we take care of them. And our job was to keep them safe during this time as well. And now, thankfully, most of them are in a safe place.
Yes, we'll talk about the children. Il faut dire que vous avez entendu, dès que vous avez entendu les premières bombes en Ukraine, vous êtes parti. Est-ce que c'est quelque chose que vous appréhendiez? Parce que vous avez raconté dans le journal The Atlantic que vous aviez préparé des fournitures dans des camions, vous aviez préalablement préparé des générateurs, de l'essence également. As soon as you heard the first bombs, you left. Is it something you dread before? Because you explained to the newspaper The Atlantic that you had supplies on trucks, generators prepared, gasoline too. For the buses are on the way. It's very disturbing. So did you imagine that this could happen, and why?
I hoped it would never happen. I believed it may happen. My father was in Bergen-Belsen concentration camp in Germany, and we learned from our history. And the history says be prepared. And so we were the most prepared. We had, like you said, food and trucks, generators, sleeping bags, everything prepared. I never in my wildest dream thought I would actually ever have to use this.
Alors, Refael Kruskal, vous avez été sur la route, vous l'avez dit, avec des centaines d'enfants, des orphelins. Vous vous êtes dirigé vers des abris anti-atomiques. D'autres membres de votre communauté se sont dirigés, eux, vers la frontière, sont entrés en Moldavie, comme vous l'avez expliqué. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous raconter comment ça s'est passé, franchir la frontière? Est-ce que ça a été compliqué? So you were on the road with hundreds of kids, orphans, heading for a shelter, and others members of your community headed for the border, entered Moldova. Can you relate what happened? Was it complicated to cross the border? Because I know that every 70 miles you stopped, you said.
So, of course, we stopped it. So there was we decided to split up. Those who could cross the border easily, quite as easily as possible, went into Moldova. I can't explain to any of your viewers, anyone who hasn't seen it, the humanitarian crisis, the crying, the walking in the mud, the waiting for hours on the border. It's a terrible experience. The other children we took to a safer place in Ukraine, next to the Carpathian Mountains. And like you said, we stopped on the way, we heard the sirens. It's traumatic. The children are unbelievably resilient. They're amazing children. They're strong. But for me, it was heartbreaking to see us taking children who have been through so much trauma and the community who was just being rebuilt, to take them away, refugees running away with just the things on their back. It's a traumatic experience which will never leave my mind.
Vous parlez avec les enfants. Est-ce que vous leur expliquez ce qui se passe? Comment ils réagissent justement? Do you speak with kids? Do you explain to them what is going on, and how do they react? You talk about trauma, about doubts, I imagine. What do they tell you?
I can't tell you how proud I am, how strong the kids are. They come to me the whole time. Refael, would you like to have a drink? Would you like to have something? They try to look after us. They're amazing. These children are amazing. But on the first night when I gave out all the rooms, and I didn't have rooms for myself, and I slept in the medical bay. So when the kids saw me the next day leaving with my suitcase to find another room, they started crying. Are you going? They have problems. Of course, they've been through such a huge trauma. Imagine they've been out twice for 30 hours on the road. Once getting through the Carpathian Mountains, and then from Moldova out. They don't know if they're going to be safe. They don't know when they're going to see their home again, their bed. their life, their clothes. I really hope that the children and us make it through this safely mentally as well.
Alors, vous êtes vice-président de la communauté juive d'Odessa. La fuite, cette fuite s'est déroulée le week-end dernier pendant Shabbat. Ça a été, j'imagine, très compliqué. Alors, évidemment, il est permis de transgresser le Shabbat quand il s'agit de préserver des vies humaines. C'est le principe de Pikuar Nefesh. Vous avez tout de même tenu à faire le kiddush sur la route qui vous emmenait à la frontière. Pourquoi est-ce que c'était important? Raphael, I say it again, you are vice president of the Odessa Jewish community. The escape took place last week during Shabbat. It was, I imagine, very complicated. You broke Shabbat, but we have to say that when it comes to preserve human lives, it is allowed by the principle of Pikuar Nefesh. But despite the hard situation, you insisted on doing Kiddush on the road. Why was it so important for you?
There's nothing more important than showing the world and showing those who are trying to kill us and attack us that we are here to survive. We've been through this. The Jewish people have been through this, and we've always survived the same way. My grandparents, when they were in Bergen-Belsen, every Friday night they never missed a kiddush. I said we're going to do the same. As hard as things are, there can be bombs flying. We are here to stay. We've done this for 2,000 years and nothing is going to stop us.
Alors, je sais que vous avez une relation particulière, hein, Monsieur le Rabbin, avec Odessa, que vous connaissez parfaitement bien. Odessa, berceau de la civilisation juive, berceau aussi du sionisme moderne. Quel est votre sentiment aujourd'hui? Est-ce que vous avez l'impression, malheureusement, d'avoir perdu peut-être une part de vous-même? I know you have a particular relation with Odessa, cradle of the Jewish community, cradle of Zionism too, founding fathers of Zionism. What is your feeling today? Do you feel like you've lost a part of yourself?
For 22 years, I built a home in Odessa. I come from London. I have no roots in Ukraine, but I built there because I wanted to help the Jewish community and then further the rest of the community, all the Odessan people. They're my family. There's amazing people, all of them, and it's heartbreaking to think that we've left such a wonderful place. I'm sure that we will go back there stronger, and we're going to rebuild whatever was broken in the last weeks by this crazy war. But I can tell you that I'm taking out every day tens of buses out of Odessa, Jews and non-Jews. Everyone is helping us and we are helping everybody else. Whoever wants to go on the bus, whoever wants to join, whoever wants to leave, we help them. And I know there are thousands of people who we've helped. I can't say a number of in general. You should see the borders. There's miles and miles long.
And for the Jewish community, it's you have an idea?
Most of the Jewish community has left. I could say we've taken out over 5,000 Jews. I know the Chabad has taken out also many buses as well. The other people, everybody is working. I would say that most of the Jewish community has left except those who couldn't.
Est-ce que vous êtes en relation avec le gouvernement israélien? Are you talking to the Israeli government now?
We talked the whole time to the Israeli government, and they've offered their help. We've talked to most of the governments, I must say, around the world. From the White House to everybody's asked about our condition, how they are. People, all the countries have been overwhelmingly responsive, trying to help us, and we're extremely grateful for that.
Alors en tout cas aujourd'hui, Tikva mène une campagne d'urgence pour les donateurs sur son site web. Vous avez aussi ouvert vos bâtiments à ceux qui étaient dans le besoin à Odessa, juifs ou non juifs. Quel message vous souhaitez adresser au monde aujourd'hui? Today Tikva is carrying out an emergency campaign on its website. You also opened your building to those in need in Odessa, Jews or non-Jews. What is the message you want to send to the world now, and what help do you need?
There's a huge humanitarian crisis. We're trying to save lives. In the past, people weren't quick enough, I'm talking 78 years ago, and less lives were saved. The more funds we have, the more people's lives you can save, literally. I'm putting up people in my buildings in Odessa. Anyone who's scared, they can come to the buildings. We're giving out the kitchen. We've got food there for people, everything. All the people who can't leave. I have a lady who gave birth on Friday. Whoever needs help, we're there to help them. But we need financial support in order to do this properly, in order to save more lives. I want people to know they send in money, people's lives are saved. There is a correlation between the money which we get and the lives which are saved.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Refael Kruskal, for answering our questions. We wish you a lot of courage now, and we hope everything goes well. So thank you again. And we can find you on your website, Tikva. If you want to give something to your association, we can do it on your website. Thank you. And maybe
just one more thing. I'm asking the people, say a prayer for us, everybody. Think of us and say a prayer while you're in your safe home with your children. Think of the children and the people who are less safe, who are waiting on the borders in the cold, people in Ukraine who still need help. Say a prayer for us. It's important, and I'm sure God will listen to all our prayers, and we will all get out through this very, very quickly.
Thanks a lot, and maybe see you soon in happier times. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. Bye.